reference was made to the process of globalization. Both yesterday in the morning, in the first inaugural session, we were drawn to the paradox or contradiction. Thy name is India under the process of globalization. And today, even Sunil too has made very interesting reference to deleting of lives which has been taking place in the process of globalization. One of the important aspects of globalization, as all of you know, is also the process of privatization. Though largely the discussion on privatization has been limited to privatization of the economy, turning everything public commonly arrived at into private hands, and considering this transition from public to private as helpful, as useful for both public and private as well. Okay. This is the way the whole discussion about privatization taking place. I wish to draw your attention to another kind of privatization which has taken place along with the economy, privatization of pleasure, privatization of many other aspects. But a glaring aspect is privatization of pain and suffering, privatization of anxiety. Your pain has become your private pain, your anxiety has become your private anxiety, and your suffering has become private suffering. Not only this, this has led to private escape routes from pain. So you are searching not collective routes or collective routes to move beyond pain. You are searching private escape routes to deal with that pain. And that has led to, as you know, from the last 1990s onwards, proliferation of gurus and babas of all kinds, because they offer that scope to deal with private pain primarily. So this is one of the important kind of context in which we are trying to make sense of our life. One of the important phenomena of globalization, apart from huge influx of wealth everywhere, and obviously the process of urbanization, but is very brutal violence unleashed against Dalits. From 1991 onwards, if you see violence which has taken place against Dalits, two glaring aspects of that violence emerges. One is that the violence has become collective. Earlier, one of the dominant persons in the village used to unleash violence against maybe some Dalit people. Now, entire village comes together in unleashing violence against that family. So, entire village wants to crush you and kill you. But how would they want to crush you and kill you? They chop you off into pieces. Recently, we did a fact-finding team in Sonai, that is close by in Ahmedabad district in Maharashtra, which is also known to be a district for saints of Maharashtra. The very important saints of Maharashtra have come from that district, and it is in that district first kind of atrocity had taken place against one of the Mehtars, a Mehtar community of Dalits, who the boy was in love with the girl who happens to be girl of some Patida, and that these three people were called and they were chopped off alive. Now, this is not a rare example of orchestration of pain. This has been the pattern for last 20 years or so. So, it is extremely a very brutal violence that seems to be the character of violence against Dalits now. Now that, of course, what I did was, I have done some fact-finding teams, and we have done various other kind of things, and I kept posters of these outside my office room in the university to tell you, not a single student of mine looked at those pictures. Not a single student of mine even bothered to look at them. Obviously, they saw other notices which I had kept for them. That is, we are going to meet on this day and all that. Or there are some other notices on seminars and talks. But they refused to take note of those pictures. I think that is a very dangerous sign, but that also signals the times that we live in. Why is it that they did not take note of those apparently very glaring pictures? I thought at least they would ask me, why are you subjecting us to that kind of violence? Looking at those pictures itself is extremely violent. Why subjecting that to us? You don't have right to basically show those ghastly pictures to us. Even that they did not ask. Even that they thought is not the question. It essentially means that pain, brutal violence against you is not the question that people as large ought to exist. That is a Dalit problem. It is Dalit's private problem with which nobody else but Dalits have to engage. So the first reason as to why Dalits write is to make pain public. That is the reason that we write. The first reason as to why we write, why we paint, for example, why we write stories, why we write theoretical essays, why we engage in knowledge is primarily to make pain public. It is to centralize pain, draw pain from private domain and put it in the public. It is only when you put pain in the public, it is possible to interrogate that pain. It is possible to not only explain that pain, but also interrogate that pain. So making pain at the center, from margin, at the center, is central in terms of raising pain as a public issue. Raising pain, a public issue in the sense, looking at pain not as private experience of individuals, but looking at pain as a result of social order in which that pain has emerged. Okay? So it is necessary, therefore, to work to centralize the pain into public, and it is only in the public that there is possibility of engaging with pain. Engaging with pain in public also, in a way, provides us a venue to see other pain also as interlinked with your pain. One of the aspects of contemporary lives is such that there is segregation of pain and suffering. Your pain is your pain, my pain is my pain. These different pains seem to be apparently unrelated. But in reality, as you see, all these pains are related and they are interconnected to each other. So my pain, the moment I engage with pain, my pain, the context of the moment I try to make my pain public, that offers me context to link my pain, relate my pain to others' pains also. So all the oppressed initially could relate their pains to each other. This is the context where all the oppressed are trying to relate their pains to each other. But relating pain essentially means also to raise pain in terms of the public order that has produced that pain. Okay? So this is again the second level of engaging with the pain. The third level of engaging with this pain is also to confront. It's also to confront, also to make pain critical. Why is it that the pain emerges? Is it necessary that all centers are bound to create margins? Why do margins exist? Are margins in some way related to center? And then you would realize that margins are created by center. Margins do not exist on their own, they are created by center. Dr. Ambedkar, in fact, was very candid on this, and he said, but he interrogated, in 50 million untouchables, the Savarna Hindu society has scarce slave laborers at their disposal. So it is the center which has created margins. So when you make pain public, it is possible for you to see as to what is the location of pain. From where does the pain emerge, and why does the pain exist? And therefore, in fact, I thought it is necessary to see this kind of politics of pain, or putting pain into public, is an important aspect of making our own lives critical, looking at our own lives in that kind of critical practice. So to look at this, in fact, when I write about myself, I'm writing about you. Any act of writing about myself, specifically from the organized location, is writing about the other. You are necessarily writing about you. Not only you are writing about yourself, you are also writing about, you are linking yourself to others. So the moment I write about myself, my biographies are also simultaneously biographies of the society in which these biographies are emerging. Outside that society, perhaps these biographies would not have any other kind of meaning. Of course, it would have, because it also wants to transcend that social location. But very importantly, whenever I write about myself, I am writing about you. I am in a way putting mirror to you about your own image. When I write about myself, I am showing you this is what you are. The suffering and pain that I have undergone is in fact result of you. It has emanated from you, and therefore you are the cause of that pain. So in this sense, in fact, this offers me again the possibility of suggesting the nature of the pain as resulting from that particular order. It also offers me this possibility of linking this, pain to other pains, and through that there is possibility of engaging with pain. Let me now, in fact, very briefly turn to another aspect, and that is representation of pain. Largely, if you see, if one looks at, Sunil has offered how Dalits have written in various forms, poetry, short stories, novels, novellas, and also largely autobiographical self-narratives. You would say it is the autobiographical self-narrative that has received more attention than the other forms. Initially, obviously, poets. Now, who's publishing Dalits' poems? You would realize Dalits are publishing their own poems. They are all self-publications. No one else is. If you see, copyrights, if you see, copyrights are, their wives are the publishers. Or when women are writing, their husbands are copyrighted. So we are publishing our own works. And even what Harish ji has done is we have published our own works. Market, in a way, is not interested in publishing your work. If you want to say, you pay for it and you publish it yourself. So largely, the pain that you want to bring in public has become possible not because society has recognized that pain, but because you want that pain to be made public. And therefore, you have put in your own resources and have tried to, in that sense, shame the other. In this process of writing, there is shame, but also shaming. I'm being shamed, I live shameful lives, but also simultaneously, I shame you. This is your real character. But this happens in terms of poetry. This happens only through your own efforts. It is only later. And I would take more than 5 minutes. No, because I trail back and you're used to this. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's irritating. I never stopped this. Anyway, so why is it that only autobiographical accounts of Dalits seem to receive public attention? That's a question I think which needs some kind of critical analysis. By and large, all autobiographical writings have been written by Dalits at particular stage of life. That they have, indeed, all of them, they have lived extremely violent, an extremely crushing kind of environment. Despite that, they have tried to, in fact, disentangle themselves from that and have arrived at particular stage and now looking back at those lives. All Dalit autobiographical writings are written by middle-class Dalits and middle-class Dalit women, those who have reached at particular location. Okay? So, while you are writing about pain and suffering that depicts that basically characterizes Dalits' lives, this pain and suffering was the past. Now, this is very important. All autobiographies are telling you that pain and suffering was the past. Okay? Of course, I know that many times, yes, autobiographies are publicly read also. There is collective readings of autobiographies too. But this is about the pain in the past. Okay. Now, pain in the past essentially means, yes, that it is that order which has unleashed that pain and suffering onto you, but that order is capable of transcending itself and creating space for you. That is the politics of autobiographies. Dalit autobiographies are extremely helpful for oppressors. They are extremely helpful for oppressors. Why? On the one hand, they are engaged in practice of shame and shaming, but at the same time, they talk about the pain in the past, basically, but on the part of those who have now arrived at different locations. So society which has unleashed that pain is also capable of offering you that space now. And as a result, fundamentally there is nothing wrong with society. You only change. If you see recent kind of autobiographies, they simply arguing this point, that if you have guts, if you have courage, you can transcend any oppressive location. You can always reach at new locations. Now, therefore, all these autobiography writers are remembering the past. This is very interesting. They are remembering the past. But in that remembering, there is no re-remembering with the past. There is no remembering with other members. Yes. Now this remembering, whether in that remembering of past, there is remembrance of kind of that remembering does not exist. And more than that, in the remembering of pain, there is no recalling of the pain. If you recall the pain, it is possible to engage with that pain today. But if you only remember the pain without remembering it, it is possible that you are talking about a society which was, but I think society which need not fundamentally change and transform. And therefore you will find that autobiographies are in favor of the oppressive classes. Oppressed autobiographies are extremely useful for, so these voices, why is it that the oppressed voices, basically in terms of autobiographies, are proliferated? They are proliferated because they play an important role for the center that has unleashed oppression. And that is primarily, a point where